Hi, friends. Welcome to Talking with Friends People. My name is host Eric, and I'd like to respond to a comment. Uh, in particular, this part of it from this person, Jen Chaotically Minimal. Do you think it can be harmful when a novice like myself tries to type the people around them? I'm feeling guilty that maybe I've set my family members on the wrong path with their personality test by jumping the gun before having a deep understanding of how it all works. I gave each of my kids and husband 16 personalities, and from our results there, it's been years of offhandedly remarks like, "Oh, that must be SI related," or "The TINE users in the car seem to not be coping well with this 4-hour drive after zero sleep last night while packing. Maybe they shouldn't talk to each other anymore." I mean, I talk consistently about what I've learned by different cognitive functions and how flawed the 16 personalities test actually is, so they know now to take the result they got with a grain of salt. The problem is that when someone believes and identifies with something, it's hard for them to be impartial and open-minded about their type. What if my kids end up pulled over by the type police, but it's really their mom's fault for mistyping them? I feel my youngest son is INTP. I have no freaking idea about my ability to do this anymore and question if I'm even an INFP blind leading the blind. Well, you sound like an INFP. If that's any consolation. That sounds like an INFP. But I want to address this question of whether, like, is it safe to be typing people? Yeah, of course it is. The thing is, like, I might get a little annoyed by, like, C.S. Joseph's dissemination of wrongness, but people use it for whatever they want to use it for. If they find C.S. Joseph's wrongness useful because they don't care about being right, then fine. It's like, I might think astrology is dumb, but some people find it useful for some reasons. Now, unlike cognitive functions, astrology doesn't withstand any scrutiny. But neither does cognitive functions when they're done wrong. And when people talk about it being a pseudoscience and a bunch of nonsense and whatever, they're correct about most presentations regarding it. You got to be very careful when you're parsing it out if you want to be right. What I mean by that is, if you understand it first and foremost as a taxonomy, and then secondly as a rhetorical tool of analysis, then you'll be fine with it because you'll always have it in its proper place. If you treat it as something else, then you'll probably still be fine with it because you don't care if it's logical, or you'll dismiss it because it's not. So, it's funny, I had this dude Nick, who used to be active in the channel, as an ENFJ. He called me last night, and I chatted with him for a little while until I started pulling his normal bullshit, which is basically he wants to establish dominance, I guess, in the conversation. So he's always trying to tell me how it really is and how I'm wrong about whatever, but in an ENFJ way that doesn't work. It's just sort of an FE thing. I don't know. He's just Nick. Anyway, I ended up basically hanging up on him. Because I don't have time for that. I don't have time for your nonsense. Too much fetching. Really early in the morning here, but I got up in the middle of the night because I don't know. Who knows why? These really long nights right now, Yeah, I can sit this way. It's fine. I need to make room for the light, So, yeah, of course it's fine to use it ineptly. I used it ineptly on Nick. At first I thought he was an ENTP. He said he was an ENTP, and every time I went to test him, he faked being an ENTP pretty well. But he's an ENFJ. So, I think you're right about yourself being chaotically minded. I think you should trust your intuition. Because even though extrovert intuition is an action function and not a knowing function, it it almost can't help but inform NI and be informed by NI, just as TI and TE can't exactly ever be fully detached from one another. I will say this about using it as a frame of reference or a frame of understanding is it tends to take over. It tends to take over as the meta frame, and I think the reason for that is because it's the only real explanatory tool or rhetorical tool that we have that addresses the fact that human beings are processes displaying attentional manners. It's the only mechanism of analysis that works really for that. And any other mechanism of analysis that would work for that would be some variation on the basic concept of cognitive functions, of attentional manners. You could taxonomy attentional manners differently, but the engine is going to be the same. It's like putting different kind of stuff on top of the same game engine, if you know about gaming and stuff like computer gaming. Anyway, so I think it's important for us all to remember that this is typology should be fun and informative and not defining. I would not worry about what you might reasonably worry about, which is some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy or creating yourself successfully as the type that you think you are, only to discover later on that you're not. It's not possible. You may run afoul of contradictions in your model of understanding until you get something right, but I think there's room within a proper cognitive function understanding provides you room for ergonomics. You can shape it to your own particular understandings and experiences of the attentional manners that are broadly defined by cognitive functions. And it'll be, effective or resonant or elegant insofar as it's both consistent with reality outside of you and your own experience. Then you've got a fully functioning model, Regardless, I type people all the time. And I type little kids, whatever. I've had a middle school student before, an INTJ girl, just look at me with obvious, I would guess you would say, stunned awe or something at me understanding her so completely. When I said to her, I'm like, let me guess, Grace. Everyone's doing everything wrong, and though you display nothing, your rage regarding this runs very, very deep. She was just like, and she's such an INTJ. There was no FE anything about her reaction. And she smiled. She didn't smile. She wasn't a person who smiled. Anyway, the thing is, we do reflect our types and we resonate with statements about our types that are descriptive of our types. But we'll also resonate with those same sort of descriptions about other types, which is why descriptive statements regarding the types are not a very meaningful frame of cognitive functions, or subframe, you might say. It's much more interesting to think about it in terms of the actual attentional manner than it is to attribute descriptions to a person's type, you know, which is a little bit different. Okay, I'm tired. I'm going back to bed. This video is done, but thank you very much, Jen Chaotically Minimal, for the excellent comment. I enjoyed the first half of it too, and I will do Bryant Chambers. He says he's an ENTJ. Okay, I will see. Maybe he is. Maybe he's an ESTJ. I'll find out. I'll do him, and we'll see. And oh my God, I just wanted to say one or two more things here. First of all, what? All these comments, almost most of them are on the Britney video. It's got crazy comments on it, just like crazy mini comments. Look at the this part over here. This is one thing I like about the beta thing over the normal one. It does this. So look at how much my stats are up because of Type Police. It's so much better than it used to be. But this video is 27% better in terms of watch time, and 55% better in terms of views than the average. And it's got 255 comments. Now, granted, a lot of them are Britney's goddamn lightning bolts. I try to remove those when I find them now, Britney. Okay, just to let you know that. I don't like your lightning bolts. They're just too spammy. For everybody who's like, why are you picking on Britney or something, where you got a lot of, you sure are obsessed with Britney. Oh, and fucking Britney. She also said in a comment that I used to be obsessed with Jordan Peterson. I have never been obsessed with Jordan Peterson. I made a few videos about him for a while because they did better than my other videos. For God's sakes. The gall. Anyway, Haley Harper's doing great, obviously. Naked Ladies always do well. I want to share with you guys this. This made me laugh. I was looking at I have this this playlist called all music uploads or something. All multi-track music. It's not actually all music uploads. I don't have a single playlist that actually has all the music on it, I don't think. But it's 130 tracks, right? And amongst them is this one that I've forgotten about until I watched it this evening called Now's a Serious Time. I want to share this hilarious lyric with you. Just like when Martin Luther King came. Alright, let me make this small so it doesn't mess up again. I need a new laptop so badly. Go to my Patreon page, please. And give me some money. I will eventually use it to buy a new laptop, which I desperately need. Alright, let's watch this lyric. To give a speech, he said, I have him, yeah. King. Just like when Martin Luther King came to give a speech, he said, I have a meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. There's a time when everybody knows you've got to be serious. That time is now. There's a time when everybody... Like the time when Martin Luther King came to give a speech, he said, I have a meow, meow, meow. As I said in the comments of this sometime back, just like when Martin Luther King came to give a speech, he said, I have a meow, meow, meow. I view this sentence as perhaps my greatest accomplishment as a lyrics writer, or as a lyricist. I wrote that comment 2 years ago. It's a pretty good lyric. Just like when Martin Luther King just like when Martin Luther King came to give a speech, he said, I have a meow, meow, meow. It's a good lyric. Really good. So if you want to see more lyrics like that, there's lots of good songs on this list, you know, on this playlist here. Now is Serious Time. I Like to Battle. Lots of good stuff. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. Let me see how long it is. Sorry, I kind of rambled on there. 15 minutes. That's over 10 minutes, but not super long. Okay, talk to you later.